Hi everyone, and welcome back to Real Talk and Forbes, hosted by yours truly, Fizabelle Madison. I hope everyone enjoyed our last episode where we had special guest Dennis Beck talk about the infamous Theater 211 production project that has everybody worried. Some even say it gave them nightmares, but no need to fret. Here on Real Talk and Forbes, we give you the scoop on how to do all your projects successfully. Since we had the man himself talking about the project on last week's airing, today we invited one of his very own students to the set in order to get the juicy deets and tips on how to complete the PP with confidence. Please welcome to the stage, Isabel Addison. Good morning, Isabel. It's nice to have you. Please call me Izzy. Alrighty then, Izzy, we just have a few questions for you that'll... Awesome, let's get started. Okay, so when you first heard about the project, what was your initial thought? Well, I can tell you for sure that I was not taking this project seriously at first. I didn't see myself putting that much effort into it because I thought that I could just slap it all together at the last minute. Yeah, I was way off. And when did you realize, holy crap, I need to get started on this? If I'm being completely honest, I had forgotten about the project 100% until Dennis reminded us of our monographic sources that we had due soon. What advice would you give to next semester students so they don't find themselves in your position? I would say that if you take the time to slowly go through and annotate your sources as you find them, then you'll save yourself a lot of time. Also, make sure that any sources used are reliable, and if you can't figure it out, then move on to another source. Great. And would you say you've had any successes with this project? There were a lot of moments where I felt triumph. Maybe from finally finding a source that works or finding one that holds a lot of specificity into the research areas. Of course, when I finished, I found that to be a big success. One thing that I would say is that if one is willing to be patient and continue to dig deeper, the right sources end up presenting themselves. Makes sense. Now, our final question is more general. If you had any tips to give to next semester's students, what would they be? If you can get anything from this talk, remember these 4 things. 1. Talk with your group. Odds are that you will eventually have the same source as someone else in your group. And without communication, one will have to end up throwing an entire source away and find another. 2. Take your time with the annotations. Do not rush through them. When you really think about what's important to include in your annotation, it's a very tricky matter. But if you use the reference handouts and the online resources that help check off what should be discussed, then you'll find yourself with a lot less stress on these annotations. 3. Make sure you know what you're researching before you find sources that don't apply to your project. Understand the show you pick, inside and out, before you start to research for the sources. You could end up writing an annotation on a completely different element of the show than intended. 4. Have a little faith in yourself. You've got this. You're gonna kill it. Round of applause, everybody. Thank you so much for coming on to our show and talking with us. Everybody give Isabel a round of applause. Yes.